All right, guys, it's finally here. The biggest UFC pay-per-view of all time, UFC 300, is tonight in Vegas. Here's my preview, including some of my thoughts and some gambling picks. Now, if you're more of a casual fan, why is this card so big? Pretty much because every fight on this card is a really, really good and big fight. Every card on this fight probably could normally be on normal pay-per-view. All of these fights on the prelims, starting with Figueiredo and Garbrandt, should be on a normal pay-per-view. But because it's UFC 300, they put it on the prelims. So this is a stacked card from start to finish. I would watch it from the very beginning, start at 6 p.m. Eastern. Let's start with the first fight of the night, and this might be my favorite bet of the entire night. I really, really like Figueiredo in this fight. I think Cody Garbrandt's really good, but his chin is pretty much done. I don't think it's a coincidence they're starting this card with him. I think they're expecting him to get knocked out. I don't normally advise to double bet, but I think a double bet is worth it here. I think he's going to get knocked out, and I think he might get knocked out in the first round. I would sprinkle a little bit on both here. Let's go next to what people probably think will be the most exciting fight of the night, the BMF title fight, Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje. This is a very, very hard fight to kind of, discuss or think about. Holloway's coming up from featherweight to 155. He's done it in the past against Poirier, and it did not go so well, although I think this is a little bit of a different matchup. I think this is another opportunity to bet twice. I would take this fight no, that doesn't go the distance. That way you get both sides of the knockout in case Gaethje or Holloway wins. And I would also take Holloway by KO plus 700. I think it's really, really good odds. I think he has much better cardio than Gaethje. I think he has maybe a better chin, not as much power, but I think he can kind of wear him down and finish his fight later on, and you could potentially win both of these bets. Let's get to the main event next, the light heavyweight title fight. Jamahal Hill, the former champ who tore his Achilles playing basketball, had to vacate the title, going up against Alex Pereira, the new champ. This is going to be a much closer fight than people think. I know the betting line is close, but I'd say a bulk of the people are on Poatan, the champ, who most people know. If Jamahal Hill is healthy, this will be a very, very close fight. I think Jamahal Hill might even win. I would take him. I think he's worth the underdog play, although I am very, very worried about the Achilles. It's only been, I think, 8 or 9 months since it happened. It's a very, very short amount of time, and he's honestly not even in the best shape to begin with normally anyway. But I still think, I'm just scared of him. I think he matches up well. I don't think this fight will go to the ground, and I think Jamahal Hill will surprise a lot of people. 2 more big fights on the prelims. Aljamain Sterling coming up from bantamweight to featherweight for his featherweight debut to fight Calvin Kattar. I like Sterling a lot. He's a little bit of a favorite. I think he's about minus 160. I would take him. I think he's going to, might be a little bit more of a boring fight. I think he's going to wrestle him a lot, and I think he'll come to a decision win. I'm very surprised to see Yuri Prochazka, be an underdog in this light heavyweight fight, the last fight before the pay-per-view. Rakic is very good, but he hasn't fought in almost 2 years, coming off a torn ACL. And Yuri, he lost his last fight, but it was against Poatan, so it wasn't against like a bad opponent. I would definitely take Yuri here as a dog. He's locked in. He's not coming off an injury, so I think it's very good odds for him. Looking at some other fights, Oliveira and Tsarukyan, that is going to be another big fight, a tough fight to kind of predict, but I think Tsarukyan's going to win. I know it's crazy, but I would take it maybe KO or decision. Oliveira, I just think is very, very chinny. He's very hittable, and although I love him, I think Tsarukyan is just a next-level fighter on the way up, and this is just a bad matchup for Oliveira. I love Diego Lopez. I think Diego Lopez is one of the most up-and-coming guys in UFC. If you're a big fan, you definitely know him, but if you're casual, you probably don't know him as well. I love the minus 150 odds on him. Youssef is good, but I think Lopez is just going to be too much for him, so I would take that as well. If you don't normally watch UFC, one guy to look out for is Bo Nickel, who they've put on the main pay-per-view card, which has gotten a lot of people upset. Bo Nickel is a national champion wrestler from Penn State. He's one of the best college wrestlers of all time, and they are very obviously putting him on the main card to kind of build up his fan base to make him more famous, which I don't disagree with. I think is the right call. But Cody Brundage isn't a scrub. This isn't a give-me fight. He's going to have to show up. He's going to have to win, and we'll see if he could. In the women's fight, the battle of the 2 Chinese women, I think Zhang Weili will win. I think she will potentially win by KO or by sub. I kind of lean sub. I think the odds are worth it. Overall, I just think she's too well-rounded to lose this fight. I don't see it. I'd be very surprised. I'd probably be more surprised if she loses than anyone on this entire card. So that's my preview. Those are my picks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Be responsible with your gambling. Stay away from parlays. Try to stick to safe single bets. Those are my picks. They're very, very far from a sure thing, but that's what I would go with. Thanks, guys, for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.